Hall of Famer Bruce Sutter is our guest. Bruce, welcome to Indianapolis. I know you've been here a few times before.
Didn't look like this, though, Howard. This is absolutely gorgeous, and I hear the big attendance every night, and looking forward to watching these kids play tonight and be a part of this and sign some autographs.
Tell us about the day you were inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Wow, that was it's so special being up there. Just first of all, if you're a baseball fan, just to be around, and then to get to be in the company. Sitting down and eating breakfast, you look across, there's Sandy Koufax, there's Tom Seaver. I mean, it's unbelievable, and you talk about nervous. Going to give the speech and everybody saying, "Now make it quick, make it quick." I think a lot of them would have said if you just say thank you, they'd be happy. But just just being, I was a big baseball fan all my life, and seeing Frank Robinson, who I grew up idolizing, and just meeting all these guys, it was just special.
I think it's so wonderful that you're in, that Goose Gossage is in, that Raleigh Fingers are in, that closers are being recognized, and you guys were actually more than closers.
Well, we pitched more than one inning, if that's what you're saying, yes. And it was just different back then. Would I like to warm up once and pitch one inning, come in with nobody on? Absolutely, But it wasn't, that's not the way the closers were used back then. It was, mostly 6-7 outs. They counted on us, and the manager knew that there was going to be some games where he had to play where I couldn't pitch. I pitched, I think the most I pitched was 8 days in a row. And the ninth day, Whitey told me, I'm not going to use you. Just don't put your spikes on or whatever. I said, I can get a guy out if you need me. But, I saw Joe Torre actually bat Gene Garber lead off. They were on the road and then pinch hit for him in the first inning, so he couldn't use him.
Right. He was afraid. He was protecting himself from himself.
Well, we're all the same. We felt like we were part of the team, a big part of the team, and when they needed us to win the game. And that's what you had to feel.
Here, Mariano Rivera retired last year, and so many people said the greatest closer of all time, and Goose Gossage said no, the greatest closer of his era.
Well, it's tough to cross over, but Mariano was a great pitcher. Anytime you can go out there with one pitch, the hitters know what's coming, and they still can't hit it, you're a pretty special guy. And Mariano, he pitched 2 innings there a lot, I guess when Wetland was the closer, where Mariano come in and pitch the 7th and 8th, and Wetland would pitch the 9th. And Mariano was always willing to pitch the 8th and the 9th in the playoffs. They just didn't ask him to do it like in June or July. They waited till the end of the season. But that, it's hard to say he's not the greatest in my mind.
Right, and the difference is now they're a setup man.
Well, exactly. It's a little bit different because every team you got to count on 3 or 4 guys pitching good every night to win, because you got your starter got to go good for 6, then you got a 7th inning guy, 8th inning guy, and a 9th inning guy, and you got to have 4 guys. Where a lot of times years ago it was just 2 of us.
We talked about your Hall of Fame induction. What about winning the Cy Young Award? What did that mean to you?
Not as much as you think. I always thought the Cy Young was for the starting pitchers. The MVPs were for the regular players, and we had our Rolaid's Relief Man Award, which you weren't voted on. And it didn't matter if your team won or not. You got so many points for a win, so many points for a save, and lost so many points for a loss. And those actually meant a lot to me. And the year I won it, Phil and Joe Niekro both won 20 games. And, I thought sometimes, how nice it would be to have a Cy Young shared between 2 brothers. That would have been special.
That's very admirable on your part to feel that way. Now, you had that success with the Cubs, the great years. Then you go over to the Cardinals, and you have great years there, and you play on a world championship ball.
Yes, with Whitey, running the show over there, being the general manager and the manager, he changed the whole outlook on things there in St. Louis and really started off the traditions and everything that's still going on today with the Cardinals. And, brought guys in that wanted to win, wanted to play the right way, wanted to play hard every day, and show up and ready to play a game. And if you didn't, you weren't there very long, and that started all this. What's going on today?
You're a young pitcher. Tell us how you learned that split-fingered pitch and the story behind that.
Well, I'd hurt my elbow throwing sliders, and I had surgery on my elbow, and I couldn't. I was a little reluctant to throw breaking balls the next year because I had it done in January and pitched in February, in spring training. March. I didn't tell the Cubs I had it done. I was a free agent signed for $500. I thought I'd get released if I told them I had surgery. So, paid for it myself, and And, Fred Martin saw my scar one day. I had this big scar on my elbow, and I always wore sleeves halfway down, 3/4 sleeves. I didn't care how hot it was. I always had my elbow covered. One day it was really hot, and I wasn't going to pitch or do anything, so I had short sleeves on, and he saw my scar. And he said, "What's that from?" And I told him the story, and he said, "Well, here, try this pitch." And he showed me how to hold it. And then I tweaked it a little bit, but, really it was a lifesaver for me.
Yeah, lifesaver. It was your whole career. I mean, the success you
Absolutely.
had, and then other guys started to throw it after that.
Absolutely, Howard. It was just, and I'd like to tell you, I really had to work hard for it, but it came to me pretty quick. It was almost like it was a pitch made for me, and right off the bat, I could make it break, and I'd make it break maybe 5 times out of 10, and it took me a little while, to get it to where I could control it, throw it for strikes when I wanted to, and throw it for balls when I wanted to, and make it break 8, 9 times out of 10. But no, it broke right off the bat.
Well, Bruce, I congratulate you on all you've achieved, and I thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to tonight.
That's Bruce Sutter, and this is the Indianapolis Indians Broadcast Network.